Yo, what's up, guys? I'm here for my game for week 1 of the Academy Premier League. This is an SPL style tour hosted by Mr. Janvad. And if you're not already in the Academy Discord, go do that right now. Stop the video and click the link in the description. Just the best community as far as Mon goes, and very solid players in there as well. So there's that. This tour is pretty cool because it's all different OUs, so it's not just Sword and Shield. We got Auras, Sun and Moon, pretty much all of them bar GSC and RBY, which is pretty dope. So I'm slotted into Sword Shield, and my opponent is SpookyZ, which you guys have seen on the channel before. He prefers like the more fatter style of teams, which I figured he would just bring. And just scouted his replays a bit, so he likes to use a lot of Lando Heat Rand packs, and the first thing that came to mind was Kiram just completely ravages that core, especially with Substitute. You don't even have to predict around Heat Rand, just playing in the games. So I wanted to bring Kiram. Got a pretty cool team here. Just going over it real quick. It's like I said, sub Kiram with Roost, and just great versus balance. Zone is there to trap Mon such as Split Def Corviknight, which can give Kiram trouble, and Ferrothorn, the combination of Iron Defense and Press. Just a great Mon in general. Tapu Fini is my Urshifu, Weavile, Answer, Defog, and also baits out Slowking with knockoff. So it's really nice. And Torn also with the offensive grass types, so there's Kartana, Rillaboom, and Stall Breaks with Taunt, which I think is the best set in this meta by far. Hippowdon, my electric answer, stuff like that, and a Victini helps with the Tapu Lele plus Blissey matchup, because otherwise I don't really deal with Blissey too well. That's the team. And so basically what I'm going for is Kiram win. He has nothing for that outside Corviknight, where just gets trapped by Magnezone. Blissey gets pressure stalled, and they can't break this up with Seismic Toss. So it's not exactly an answer, and everything else just gets ravaged by the combination of Freeze Dry, Earth Power. Zone is going to be key because it traps Core, which opens up both Kiram and Hippowdon, meaning I just get Stealth Rocks for the entirety of the game once that's out the way. And then Tapu Fini is like good, but it's not important at the same time, because it's defog, so it's never beating Blissey 1v1. It's nice versus being able to pretty much counter Gashadon, but other than that, I still have Kiram, so it's not too big an issue. So it's very low value, I'd say, in this game, because I also have other things for Buzzwole and Torn, which smacks him with the taunt. Really, like if I taunt Coco upon switch, that's even great because he can't roost or anything like that. And this beats everything else handily. Hippo there got against Coco, and stuff are gonna be crucial in this one. It's just very difficult to kill, like outside Kiram. Toxic is just very annoying to deal with, because his only answer gets trapped, and then Victini is super good. No good fire resist outside Gashadon, which just gets abused by Kiram. And I do have a nice tech for that, so you guys gonna see. But if I was banded Victini, I should just won the game. Like all I had to do was like U-turn on Gashadon once and then recreate the next time. But I'm not. That's definitely an option on this team. I'm just gonna do a team building video on this one because I really like it, and just explain more into detail. But I'm assuming he brought Coco because it's like an anti-measure for Torn, which will otherwise just be a huge issue. So it makes sense. But let's just hop right into the game. So you already know we gotta have the music on. He leads with a type of Coco as a Leon Victini. Victini just has impeccable matchup versus 5 out of the 6, so no reason not to lead it. Don't care about Gashion, as I'm able to just U-turn it to Finny and then carry him from there. So Victini is just the best lead, as Coco goes for U-turn. So if you look at the damage, it did 23%, which is actually not the normal. It's supposed to do like 14. So revealed that he's physical, which I've actually never seen. And I only calced like after the game, because like I wasn't focused on like the damage, things like that. So I didn't notice that he was physical. But yeah, he is. So that means he has like wild charge and stuff like that. But I just go straight for the V crate, no reason to U-turn and have him stand for no reason. So and it just forces Gastrodon to recover, which gives me the free switch into Tapu Fini as he does recover. Now here I can just fire off a knock. There's no real reason not to. Something's gonna lose this item, whether it be Blissey or this Gastrodon. He protects the scout what I am. Potentially, if I'm like Trick, you don't want to just stay in and take that, because then Victini just beats Gastrodon on V1. So it's better to just check for what I am first. I'm likely not Scarf on a team like this, but just be safe, as he pulls the switch out to Coco. Makes sense. Definitely the least useful versus Hippodon plus Magnezone. So and letting Blissey get knocked is just not the move, because that just opens up Karam with Stealth Rocks up. So goes to Coco and fires off a Toxic. Actually go for a bit of a aggressive play, going for the double knock, knowing that there's no way he T-boats into Hippodon. I thought he'd just U-turn into something like Blissey or just back into Gastrodon. I can catch one of those with a knock, which would be great. But Toxic, again, is something I've never seen on Coco. I don't think it's like very good. You can just wear down grounds other ways. You don't really need to do that, but it works here because my Tapu Fini gets punished. But it's fine, because like I said, Fini is not useful, which is why I played it pretty recklessly. So it's all good. I don't really need it in particular. So I'll go to Hippodon, as had he decided to T-boat that turn, but I knew he wouldn't. But just the best play. Don't want to go zone and reveal my set, as goes to Kyurem. At the very least, I'm getting a bit of sand chip on this, as pull the switch out to Victini, knowing that there's no way an Earth Power is coming out there. First of all, it doesn't kill. You don't need to predict there when you have a Gastrodon. So figure this will be pretty safe, as I U-turn, because Recreate doesn't kill him from there. Again, because I'm not banded, so I can't stay in and just start Victini when it's super important. So pivoting around him a bit, going to Tapu Fini, knowing he has to roost to scout the damage, because I just recreated and he killed me. Like, he'd be super low for no reason, so it's just better to roost first. As I'm able to get the free switch into Tapu Fini. What I'm going for here is just keeping the Kyurem low, so that I can knock him out with either Torn or Victini afterwards, guaranteed. And that's like guaranteed in quotations, because I have Hurricane, so you already know what that move is. But I just Moonblast constantly, again, to keep him low, and I go to Victini because the harder thing to switch into, and I know he's staying if I went to it, because you don't really want me U-turning again on Gastrodon. Then you have to go back on the defensive again. So he could have saved it, but it would be pretty difficult to roost versus anything. So I understand and stand. So yeah, Kyurem gets knocked out, which is great. Just pretty big threat. As he goes to Coco. I'm gonna mid-ground to Magnezone here. Had he decided to be a bit aggressive and toxic there, knowing Hippodon is likely coming out on the electric move, because I'm at -1, so I would for sure die to that. It covers that, and also covers the U-turn. So just all around the best play. as I do catch that toxic. So he U-turns out and takes helmet. The whole point of rocking helmet on Magnezone is to basically checkmate Corviknight every time they decide to avoid the trap. So say you have rocks up with Powdon, you go hard Magnezone. They take chip, and next time they come in, they take in rocks, and then you pretty much guarantee the trap, and they can like never defog for free or roost, anything like that, because they're just always taking some kind of damage. So eventually Kyurem is just gonna win the game. That's pretty much how this team's supposed to work. But yeah, I go for the body press on the switch, knowing that Coco's never staying in. Likely Blissey coming out first, because if I'm toxic, you don't want Gastrodon taking that, as that's again the main fire resist. So I knew that'd be coming out first, and because if he doesn't have aromatherapy on Blissey, he won't be able to get the toxic off. So yeah, I'm able to pretty much smash the Blissey, and what this allows for me to double out to Torn, knowing that likely Gastrodon coming out, Kyurem would just invite the Blissey back in to recover and just take away all my progress. So it really doesn't make sense to double two. And yeah, Torn just has the best positioning. Taunt means I hit Coco upon switch, and he can't roost, so that'd be pretty good. And taunting Gastrodon, just in case he has toxic, I doubt it with protect, because you kind of want stabs on it, but you could. So just checking for that a bit. Let's go for the taunt first, as he scalds, so he likely does not have toxic. Yeah, knock his item off, which is nice for Victini and Magnezone, so he's getting permanently chipped. And now a U-turn, knowing that Kyurem is 100% safe, because he can't, toxic, he's taunted. So here, I actually don't freeze dry straight up, because I don't want to give Blissey a chance to heal, right? So I actually double the Victini, because it covers two options. If he protects, I get the freeze switch, and if he doubles to Blissey, I catch that as well to fire off another recreate, and then he has to go back to Gastrodon, and I'll possibly be able to U-turn, knowing that he wouldn't stay in. So it just gives me more solid sequencing. So yeah, he does protect, and you're like, wait, how does that matter? You can't touch Gastrodon, but I reveal the Encore, so he's in a really bad spot now, because something has to take a huge hit. He has no fire resist beside this, so everything else is gonna die. Like, you can't stay in and keep protecting. He's just taking damage for no reason. So fire off a V-Crate here because it's free, and fire off another one. Buzzle actually does not die. This thing is super disgusting. It's just gross, as yeah, he lives. And funny thing is, he doesn't actually have to be impish to live. He could just be max HP with adamant. So here I decide that first of all, staying in is never the play. So I have two options. I can either go to Torn or Powdon. I actually thought I'd risk Magnezone, which I'm never doing that when Corviknight's still there. Like, that's never an option. So go to Torn. I didn't want Hippo taking a potential CC. If he's adamant, I'll be taking like 46 to 50%, and I wouldn't be able to heal because his Bozo would die to sand. And then Coco becomes an issue, that was what I was thinking there. So I didn't really like that trade too much, because Buzzwole is not an issue enough to throw out health on their Powdon. So I decide that Torn is just the best mid ground. It covers for us all options, really, as I don't risk any damage on the Powdon, and I'm still able to gain a bit of momentum with the U-turn. It actually kills from there. Like, the min damage versus fist def is 3%, which is surprising because it's a Buzzwole, but yeah, and able to just U-turn. Don't need to knock and lose momentum versus Coco. U-turn catches the Corviknight coming in as I'm able to finally trap. So now Kirim is opened up tremendously because the main answer is at 19%. So once that comes in, it's gonna be a bloodbath, and yeah, so able to heavily damage the core as he goes to Gastrodon, and he reveals his last move. So he doesn't have Toxic, so a Torn actually walls him. I didn't want to go with Kirim because what that means is I'd not only be forced to Roost because I'm taking an Earth Power plus Burn, but I'd also give his Blissey a chance to heal. So Torn just covers all options, covers the potential Blissey coming out and the Earth Power. As what I do here, yeah, taunt upon switch, and it's actually one of those more advanced plays. I feel like a lot of people should do this a lot more often. Taunting faster mons upon switch, so that the following turn they can't go for any type of status or recovery. So yeah, that's pretty cool, as I'm able to basically prevent Coco from going for Toxic upon switch or roosting, which is amazing for me. So go for the obvious Celadon play. The thing is, you can't really take advantage of this or anything. Buzzo can never roost because as soon as it comes in, it's going to die to sand. And everything else I do well versus if Corviknight decides to come back in, I just trap him again. So this has excellent positioning versus the rest of his mons, as he brings in Blissey and able to heal, but that does allow me to get up Stealth Rock, which is going to be key versus Coco with the boots knocked off. So now he can't switch in as easily versus Torn. Gastrodon is getting punished by Rocks plus Victini, things like that. So that's great. And here I go to Magnezone because as Blissey said, he hasn't shown any moves yet besides Softball and Stealth Rock, obviously. But wanted to scout for Toxic because I don't want to plan on taking that. But he goes for Rocks instead, which makes sense, as I just body press to get a bit of chip. Basically kills something if he decides to leave Blissey in, or I go to Buzzwole, like kills everything beside Gastrodon. And sorry about that. I went to Kirim on the Gastrodon, free of charge because he has to recover, and now it's time to start subbing and roosting up. So I roost first, so that I can switch in later a lot easier into Earth Power plus Burn, as he Seismic also does not break the sub because Kirim has so much HP. So it's pretty much going to be a stall fest. I'm going to skip through these turns a bit. It's me just roosting and freeze drying, fishing for freezes, as Seismic tossing. They're both basically wasting each other's PP, and I finally get a freeze, which is good if he stays frozen, but he does not. He thaws right off the bat. Just keep freeze drying, earth powering. At this point I realized I don't need to preserve earth power PP because I only need that to Oko the Coco. And yeah, so earth power gonna get us a death drop. Yeah, like I said, this matchup is unfavorable for Blissey because you just get stalled out. And here goes Buzzo just to waste one of my PP without having to stand and burn his own, so that makes sense. So just using that as, a switch to just go back right out to Blissey, and just earth power again. There's no reason to waste freeze dry PP. And now here I go to Hippowdon, realizing that I don't actually need to stay in because I completely walls the Blissey and I just toxic him, and then I win the 1v1. So I do pull that switch, and here I'm just able to toxic free of charge as goes to Seismic Toss. I do miss, kind of annoying because would have been at 70% now, but I do land the next one, as now what I'll be able to do is slack off because I don't want to take too much damage. I need to be out of range of Coco and things like that. Gastrodon scalds. He goes to Corv, so now here is just again checkmate. Either defog and die, roost and die, or you U-turn, take helmet, and die. So Van Zone just the best play all around, as he roosts and does not defog. I guess he wants to keep rocks up, but that means Corv is dead. So now I just click Earthquake and force damage on this entire team. And yeah, only that coming on that really is Gashadon. Blissey just gets beaten. Go to Kirim, and what that allows for me is to roost, just to stay healthy as possible. And then double 2 with Powdon. Again, don't need to waste PP. And just applies the most pressure. I'm able to just fire off a Toxic because nothing wants to take that. As yeah, he doubles into Buzzwole again, trying to play around and not waste PP, like I said. But he just died to Sand, which is pretty funny. And he goes to Coco, and at this point the game is pretty much over. There's no ground resist left, and Kirim will just be able to stall out Blissey. So at this point he just has to go Coco and Toxic, and I just EQ. Toxic miss did not matter because, like I said, Torn, combination of Torn, Kirim just wins the game. Because once this Blissey runs out of Seismic Toss, I just literally taunt with Torn, and he's forced to struggle because that's his only attacking move. And from there, Kirim would just win versus Gashadon, as he supposed to switch out to that Gashadon, as I believe I EQ. Yeah, EQ. And what I'll do here, I'll go to Kirim. This did not take a skull. There's no real reason to. I could have Toxic, but it doesn't matter at this point. As I just freeze dry, just the best play. That now that he's frozen, and had I went to Victini there, just recreated, I guaranteed to a kill Gashadon from 52% of the rocks, I think it is. So he can't really stand, and he's guaranteed loses the game. So he does either way, but I do go for the Hurricane just to seal the game up. Actually, Knock does not kill from 11% because he was first death based on the Victini calc. Yeah, so I'll just Hurricane again. I mean, it's not even a risk because still should win at this point. As yeah, then I'll just taunt the Blissey and then go to Victini and knock him out. Because I actually live Seismic Toss. So very long game, and I hope you guys like the narration, because not gonna lie, it was kind of a struggle. But yeah, okay, question of the day. What are you guys' favorite stall breakers? Things like Life Orb, CM Clef, Taunt Heatran, Taunt Torn T. Leave it in the comments, and that should be pretty cool. And yeah, that's my game for week 1, and hopefully be back with some more. And yeah, peace.